Good evening. Welcome to Vibing with Vicky. I am so excited to be back on the air. I said this podcast has been a long time coming. I know we have been doing some pre-recordings, but I am back. And I just want to remind you to please tune in every weekday at 6 o'clock at 9716 Studio. On Mondays, we have Clearing the Mist with Kim Hamilton. And on Tuesday, it's the Rick and Rhonda Show. On Wednesdays, it's Vibing with Vicky. On Thursday, it is Keeping Frank with Frank Hanley. Uh, Forgive me, Frank Hanley. And on Friday is Faith Matters with Dr. Nasir Khan. So please remember to tune in here at 9716 Studio. So I'm just excited and I'm glad to be back. Are we going to have a screen? Because I have nothing up here. So no, we just getting everything right because remember I haven't been here, so just bear with me. So just keep in mind, we just want to make sure that we all stay in touch. I do want to tell everybody something exciting is happening in my life. And I'm excited about that, and I want to share that with everyone. I've been kind of missing a little bit because a lot of other things have been happening, and I have also started a new job. Yes, come on, give it up. Yes, I have started a new job. I am now the city clerk of Niagara Falls. So I am excited to be working alongside with Mayor Robert Restaino and the administrator of Niagara Falls, Anthony Restaino. So these brothers are a couple of heavy hitters. I enjoy being at City Hall with all the wonderful people showing me a lot of love there. I'm learning a lot of new things. So for those who know me, no, I am a social worker to the bone marrow, and I love social work. But this is still social work. It's just on a bigger scale. So I'm excited about that. So yes, I am the city clerk of Niagara Falls, and I am also the youth and senior. I am also the director of youth and senior services here in Niagara Falls. So I'm excited. I'm going out to the pools and seeing what's going on, working alongside of a supervisor who works with the Mayor Summer Youth Program. And we'll be getting to know more about the senior services here in Niagara Falls. So there is a lot. Did I say lot? Oh, there is a lot going on in Niagara Falls. So there's a lot going on in Niagara Falls, especially with our youth. So if you have not taken a look at the calendar on the site for Niagara Falls, please take a look at the calendar so you can see everything that's going on in the city of Niagara Falls with our youth. And certainly we also had the lunch program that's happening. I love the way that Niagara Falls have worked together with the Boys and Girls Club and Mark Laurie, who is the superintendent of Niagara Falls Schools, working together to make sure that the youth still had what they need throughout the summer, that they were going to have the lunches. So you want to look at that calendar to see where the lunches are being served throughout the city of Niagara Falls throughout the summer. So you can get lunch for your children still. You don't have to worry about that. And there are various locations. I want to name one location and then it's somewhere else at a different time on a different day. So please, that calendar is available to you. Go on that website. So I want to give a shout out to my girl Ann. She put that calendar together. Thank you, Ann. Mwah. Love you so much for doing that. I mean, she color coded it. So where there's food located, it's colored green. Okay, so let's give it up for Ann and all of her hard work. And not to mention the hard work of the collaboration of all the people coming together to make sure the city of Niagara Falls is hearing our youth and taking care of our youth. Okay, so I want to get started with our show on. So, in talking about the show is about the power of words. Let's just let that resonate for a moment. The power of words. I think, from a professional and from a personal view, that the ability to speak is so powerful. And I think people don't understand how powerful that is until they lose that ability, until they either become mute unable to speak, or see someone else using sign language because they can't speak, um, or they're sick, or for various reasons get cancer in their throat, different things like that. There's so many different things that will cause the person, that can attack the vocal cords and cause a person to not be able to have the power of speech. So the power of speech and the power of words. And when you bring those two together, how powerful is that? Because when speech, or I'll put it this way, when words have somebody speak it, something powerful happens. And what happens is activation. Mm, just think about that for a moment. Words plus speech equals activation. You need those words to be activated, because words on a paper are just words on a paper. And sometimes I'm not going to, tell you that's not a good thing, because people can have words on the paper and say that those words mean so much to me, because they do when people write them. I'm not against writing those words at all. But when you speak them, it has the ability to cut through to a person's soul, reach the heart of the person when they hear those words. You believe what people say many times, and then it depends on how they say it. So we're going to look at the effect of words once activated with speech. The effects of words once activated with speech. So we had some pictures that was going to come up on the screen. Let me check with the studio guy and see if those pictures are ready for us. So we're going to take a look at a picture of rice in a jar. And maybe some people have seen this in the past. I'm not sure. But when you see the rice in the jar, it has two things on there. It has love, I love you, and I hate you. Okay? And these are just jars of rice in water. And what this individual did, this is a real experiment, and I'm encouraging everyone out there who is listening to me, please, if you want to try this experiment, you're more than welcome to try it. And I want to hear from you today. I have missed you. Let me say this to the podcast audience, Vibing with Vicky. I've missed you over these few weeks. So, I just want to encourage you to please, shoot me a text message, put them in the comments. I want to hear everything you have to say, because we're going to work this subject tonight. Okay, so put your comments out there. Try this experiment. Just put some rice in water, and then you're going to take those tops off the water, and you're going to speak to it every day. And to one jar of water with rice, you're going to say, I hate you. And to the other one, you're going to push it, put it over to the side, and you're going to speak directly into the water, and you're going to say, I love you. Now, let's take a look at this water, because people are like, why you put water in the jar? Well, we're 80% water. Man is 80% water. So it's a lot of fluid in there, absorbing that sound. And so me being a person who, studied the Holy Bible, it says that, when God came on the scene, he said, let there be light. That was number one. And then he separated the water from the firmament. He spoke right to the water. And when sound hits water, it brings forth light. When sound hits water, it brings forth light. And I'm hoping this put a whole different perspective on things when you're talking to your children and when you're talking to other individuals, because that sound of those words going into the ears of your children, who is 80% water, but they can comprehend sound, okay? What are they hearing? So let's go back to these jars of, I love you and I hate you. So they did this, I think it was for 14 days. They spoke to the jars of water and rice, and this is the results. So the one that heard I hate you, was brown and ugly. And look at the one that heard I love you, white and clear. So imagine what happens to people when you speak those negative words. And I know, don't I know, how people can make you angry. And you will shout out some words, that power to speak, to activate something on somebody's life. All right? In somebody's mind, in somebody's heart. So I want to first say to parents, when you have a child that's very active, has a lot of energy, you want to choose those words. I was just talking to a friend of mine. Her name is Tiffany Matson. She's a licensed clinical social worker. And I remember when she and I used to work together, how, I would say things and she would be like, well, Vicky, you can, maybe we can see that a little differently. She was so sweet about it. But you know what she was teaching me? There are better words that you can say to a person, right? So it won't just knock them down, because I like to give it direct and I had to give it hard, but I didn't always have to give tough love when I was helping people out of the hole, right? There were some other words I could choose, even though I was telling them the truth. So be mindful when you have that very active child that's running through the house or having problems in the school. You so bad. You make me sick. You so much like your father. Think about that. What does that mean? What are you speaking over that person's life?